Myers-Briggs has identified ENFP, or an inspirer, as your personality type. You're perceptive and able to quickly and accurately assess where someone is coming from. You can kind of see where somebody's coming from. You have this instinctive way of looking at and listening to people and seeing actually where they're coming from at a much deeper level than most can do. You're very tolerant and accepting of most people. You have a deep and intelligent in your ability to be able to see things together and how they couple together and how they work. You're wired to look for connections in the external world and see how things are put together. You mentally put things together more easily than others. So when you can not only see how the world's put together, but you see it better than most people can do that, and you understand the world in a little bit different way than most people do. You're popular and likable, in tune with what's socially acceptable and what isn't. You can kind of make sure that you're always politically correct about how you phrase things and in a way that doesn't hurt other people's feelings. That's important to you, and it'll be a wonderful thing for you as you get to know people. And part of what makes you likable is because you're interested in not hurting other people's feelings. You have highly creative in an artistic or in way you generate ideas and in your ways of thinking. You have a tendency to be creative, and people appreciate that about you, that you can think in new ways and be highly creative. You're able to discern between good and bad, and rather than accepting everything, you take a position, you take a point on something, and if it's right, then you'll say so. And if it's wrong, you'll also say so. At least you believe that, and you'll fight for that for what's right. ENFPs have a tendency to be highly artistic, and you might that might come out in a lot of different ways. It might come out in music, it might come out in art. It probably comes out in a lot of different ways. But typically, ENFPs are artistic type people. You have the ability to be able to focus and concentrate deeply on tasks, which is part of what makes you a good artist. You're able to take the time to accomplish what it needs to be done to express yourself artistically. You balance out your desire to meet new people and new experiences with the desire to put their understanding to use in some way. So you have a tendency to not only do you want to spend time with people and meet new people, but you also want to understand enough about them to be able to take into account who they are into your relationship with them. And that's a wonderful thing that ENFPs can do. You'll find meaning and purpose in your life in a way that a lot of people never will. And it's because of this that it makes you so likable. People will look to you and for strength in this area. Okay, let's talk about some of the weaknesses. You're vulnerable to schemers and con artists. So watch out, be aware. Don't believe everything you hear, and don't trust people first sight, and let them earn the right of talking you into something by getting to know them and let them prove who they are. It may not apply good judgment, eager to push the envelope of your understanding, and so you might have a tendency to let error creep into your understanding of how things should be or into a relationship. So be aware of that. You blame other people using logic and ration to defend yourselves. Yourself. Don't get into that trap of wanting to blame other people for what's going on in your life. It doesn't serve anyone well, and especially you. You may develop strong negative judgments that are difficult to unsin. So against people, and who you perceive to be oppressive to you. Don't take an attitude that people are out to get you, and that they're, that this whole idea of watching out, make sure you don't get run over by schemers and con artists can come back on you in the other way too. So be on watch for that. Make sure that you don't fall into the drug world and to alcohol or promiscuity. Your personality type has a tendency to do that because of the experience. You happen to be an experiential type person, and you like you're a feelings type person, a perceiving type person. You're very intuitive and outgoing. Don't let yourself fall into these traps. You have a susceptibility to that kind of thing. And you also might skip from relationship to relationship without the ability to be able to commit to one relationship. Remember that you're looking for quality, and when you find quality, set that into your belief system and build your worldview around what it is you believe that should be the standards, and then play to those standards. Make sure you think good thoughts about what those standards and how the people that you care about meet those standards, and that'll help you to connect and be able to establish and commit to people that you want to commit to. You may start projects that you're unable to complete or that you don't want to finish. Just be aware that it's important that when you set out to do something that you complete it. So establish ahead of time the outcome that you expect, commit to that outcome, and don't stop until you see that outcome. Apply discipline in your life, find people to hold you accountable to that. You also may be unable to stick to a career or a job for any length of time. This could be frustrating for you. Again, set the outcomes that you expect, find people to help hold you accountable, and find the job that you love. Find out what you should be doing, the things that are in the world of art, if possible. That's an important area for you. Okay, let's talk about your strengths. Rather than expending mental energy in defining how the other person is wrong, judge what the person is actually saying. So instead of trying to think through what somebody's saying, listen to what they say and judge them on what they say instead of what you might be trying to read into what they're saying. That'll help you to keep from making the mistakes that you think what somebody else is, you know what somebody else is thinking when you don't. Periodically make a list of goals and accomplishments. Those are going to be helpful for you for the reasons we mentioned before. Think about the goals, the outcomes you're expecting. Look at your accomplishments and think through them every once in a while. It'll help you to gain this discipline of being able to see things through, and it'll serve you well. Revisit your goals and accomplishments often. So when you write these goals down and the things you've accomplished, go back and look at them. It'll be energy. It'll be a reward for the things you've done well. Spend time alone regularly. Think through issues in your life on a consistent basis. You want to look through what's going on in your life, understand them, write them down. You do well to journal if you can discipline yourself to do that. A journal requires some discipline, and that might be a little tough for you because you're more of a free spirit type of person. But try to do that. It'll be good for you. Let's see. Find some new experiences in your quest to understand the world. So. Go out and look for experiences. Look to do new things. They'll help broaden your horizon. They'll help express yourself, help you express yourself artistically, and it'll do well for you. Make decisions. Don't be about how you feel about things. Make decisions based upon logic and rationale, not just on your feelings, and it'll serve you well. See a disagreement and discord as an opportunity for growth. When somebody disagrees with you, take in what they have to say. Listen. Ask questions. Find out what's behind what it is they have to say. And then make sure that they understand what you have to say. And then take that into account in your decision-making process. And then don't overlook your own needs for the sake of others. You might have a tendency to want somebody else's needs to be met before your own. Don't do that. Make sure that you take into account both people's needs, yours and another person's, especially in your personal relationships. And assume the best. A positive attitude creates positive situations. Make sure that you're looking at life through a positive prism. Often people who are ENFPs have a melancholy type of personality and will have a tendency to be a little bit pessimistic, see the glass half full. If that description fits you, make sure that you look at the positive things in life, look at those lists that you might make of your accomplishments, and remember life can be good and not everything is always a problem. And then last but not least, if you need feedback, ask for it. Ask people what they think about what it is you're thinking, and ask people for feedback on your ideas. Ask for feedback on your art, and if it's music, look to people to tell you what it is exactly they think of your art. It'll help you in doing a better job. So this is your personality of ENFP.